Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be covering the best Game Week 36 free hit draft. If you do enjoy the content that you see on the channel, then why not subscribe? We're trying to hit 100 subs before the end of the season, and it would be absolutely incredible if we can make it there. If you do enjoy today's video, then why not drop a like on the video, and down below in the comments, let me know what your plans are for Game Week 36. But without further ado, let's dive into our free hit draft for Game Week 36. Starting off with our goalkeeper, we have gone for Kasper Schmeichel, arguably Leicester's most nailed player. I don't think there's another player who has played every single minute after Leicester have competed in European football. You know, a lot of people have been eyeing up James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, players like that. Fofana was one I was looking at. He was rotated today. Schmeichel seems to be the most nailed Leicester asset that you can own, and I really want to take advantage of that fantastic double that they have. Everton at home, obviously Everton off the back of a fantastic win against Chelsea. They're fighting for their lives down there and need every single point that they can get. And then Norwich down, that one's going to be a little bit of a dead rubber game for both teams, and you could easily see Schmeichel keeping at least one clean sheet with these two fixtures. My only concern with owning a Leicester defender is the fact that they've conceded 54 goals this season and only have kept 6 clean sheets, ranking them 17th in terms of the Premier League. It's been absolutely woeful defending from Leicester at the back all season, especially from set pieces. They've been absolutely miserable. However, there are other options that you could go for, maybe like a Ramsdale. There's also Ben Foster, there's Mendy, there's Alisson if your budget can stretch that far. But for the mid-price goalkeepers, I do believe Kasper Schmeichel is your best bet, and that is why he's in my Game Week 36 free hit draft. Moving on to the back line, we start with Marcos Alonso. A little bit of a question mark over this one after today's performance against Everton. However, I don't have time to make another graphic, so we're going with Marcos Alonso. Big question marks over this one, with him being an FA Cup rotation risk. However, over the past few game weeks, he has been really good asset to own. 2 goals, 1 assist in the past 5 game weeks. And you know what? I've been really pleased with owning him. Wolves and Leeds, it's a fantastic double where Chelsea should be looking to maintain 2 clean sheets during that period. However, it does seem after today that, you know, performances have dipped at Chelsea, and something does need to change. They are going to be prioritising the FA Cup, so you could see that Marcos Alonso maybe misses one of the fixtures. However, the reason I have gone Alonso over someone like James or Rudiger is the fact that they haven't really got another left wing back or left back option who's fit and available at the moment. So that is the reason I've gone for Marcos Alonso. He is a fantastic option who has explosive output, especially over the past few game weeks. He's in form. We've seen that with him, but there is a little bit of thought. You know, do you maybe double up on City defence? Do you look elsewhere with this one? But I have gone for Marcos Alonso, as he has been in absolutely ecstatic form over the past few game weeks. But let's move on to the rest of the defence. Next to Alonso, we have gone for Trent Alexander-Arnold. The reason I've gone for Trent over maybe someone like Robbo is comments that Jurgen Klopp made after the game, suggesting that maybe Robertson's going to be rotated in Game Week 36 for Tsimikas. It does seem that way. Please do go look up the quote for yourself and interpret it in your own way. But that's the kind of way that I read it, was the fact that, you know, Tsimikas is going to feature in 36. He plays left back. Robbo plays left back. Trent's had his rest against Newcastle as well. He is the highest scoring defender this season, for not only points but bonus points as well, and he is only about 20 away from, I think, breaking the all-time defender score in FPL history. It's a great double for Liverpool, Tottenham and Villa, and Liverpool have been absolutely sensational at the back all season. I can see Liverpool keeping clean sheets in both games. It honestly would not surprise me if they kept clean sheets in both games. That's why we've gone for Trent over Robbo. However, if you do have Robertson, there is a little bit of food for thought. Do you maybe upgrade him? Do you maybe switch him to another Liverpool asset, with the fact that he could be rotated in Game Week 36? Next to him, we have gone for the second highest scoring defender this season, and that is João Cancelo. There's been a lot of question marks over João Cancelo's recent performances, getting back-to-back 5-pointers with yellow cards starting to spring into his game. Obviously, City have the Champions League as well, making him a little bit of a rotation risk. However, in my eyes, he had his rest. He had his rest in the first leg against Real Madrid due to suspension, so I imagine he is going to feature in both Game Week 36 games for City. Newcastle and Wolves, both teams who could be on the beach now, you know, both safe, both not really got too much to play for at the moment. As well, I've seen a lot of people comparing Laporte and Cancelo. However, if I was going to compare the two and I only had to take one, I would massively take João Cancelo. He's had more shots on target, more assists, more attempted assists, higher expected goals, higher expected assists, and higher expected FPL points over the past 5 game weeks, with an expected FPL points of 30, and he's only accumulated 23, suggesting a massive underperformance from João Cancelo. And you can see that within his games, it's been really frustrating to own him, especially with some of the teasing balls that he's been putting in over the past few weeks. I think there was one yesterday where he put it across the face of the goal, and all it needed was just a tap in. He's going to have an explosive week. I guarantee that before the end of the season, and 36 could be that week. My final defender that I've gone for in the 36 free hit draft is a huge differential, and that is Joel Matip. Over the past 5 game weeks, Matip has been the 4th highest scoring defender and the 2nd highest scoring Liverpool defender behind Robertson, and he's absolutely bargain bottom price at 5.2 million. If you're looking for a great team to double on, especially at the back, and it is Liverpool, for me, I believe that Klopp favours Matip in the Premier League. However, do just make sure that he doesn't play on Tuesday, because that could potentially lead to him being a little bit of a rotation risk with Konate. However, Konate usually plays in the Champions League and Cup games, but just make sure on that one. But if Matip doesn't play, he is honestly, for me, he is guaranteed to play both games in 36, and he is an absolute fantastic option who's just going to be racking up them points, getting the clean sheets, because I could see Liverpool keeping a clean sheet in both games, and if you've got Trent and Matip collecting the points, that is absolutely delicious. That is absolutely fantastic. Matip's been a great player, a great bargain player as well. A lot of people in their 36 free hit drafts are probably going to go Trent and Robbo. Go Matip. Go Matip for me. He is more nailed than Robbo, especially after Klopp's comments. That is honestly where I'm putting my money. Matip will play both games, so will Trent. Robertson will only play one. Let's move on to the midfield before I get any more heated. Starting off our midfield, we have gone for Saka, who at the time of recording has just picked up an assist for Arsenal against West Ham. So that is 2 goals and 1 assist in the past 5 game weeks at the time of recording. The second half hasn't started yet, and he could absolutely explode and do some more stuff. Great fixtures for Saka. Leeds at home. Leeds off the back of a very worrying performance against Manchester City, where they were absolutely carved and demolished at times. Also, the fact that results this weekend just haven't gone in Leeds' favour. They've been dragged back into this relegation dogfight and need all the points they can get. This could leave them massively exposed, and Arsenal could take full advantage of that. Next fixture as well is Tottenham, and that's a massive game. Obviously, not only the fact that it's a North London derby, you've got the fact that both teams are fighting for the Champions League tooth and nail, and I do believe that Arsenal maybe have that little bit of extra edge over Spurs. And if any player is going to score in that game, it will be Saka, as he scored in the reverse of that game. He also scored against Leeds as well earlier this season, so has a pedigree of scoring against this team. It is something that I do look at, because it does weirdly pop up, players when they do find a team they like to score against, it just keeps happening. It's a weird phenomenon. But yeah, Saka on penalties, really good form at the moment, cleared to be fit. For me, a potential differential captain option as well that you could go for. Obviously, we're heading into the final few game weeks. You've got to be looking a little bit different if your rank isn't where you want it to be. There's no point going Salah, because his effective ownership is going to be way past the hundreds, and you're not really going to gain too much when he explodes. Whereas if Saka or a De Bruyne explodes and you've got him captain, it could be the difference between maybe like a top 10k finish or a top 50k finish. That's how big it could be coming into the last few game weeks of the season. My next midfielder is Kevin De Bruyne. What a double that is for City, by the way. Newcastle at home and Wolves away. KDB for me is going to play in both of these fixtures. He'll obviously play in the Champions League game against Real Madrid as well. He got his rest, against Leeds. Didn't play any of the game. And that for me was a massive tick in my head to bring him in to my team for game week 36 and give him the armband provisionally at the moment. Over the past 5 game weeks, Kevin De Bruyne has scored 2 goals, getting 3 assists, and has been the second highest scoring City player behind Gabriel Jesus. And he's also been the 4th highest scoring player over the past 5 game weeks, and he's missed a game at that. The reason I'm really big for Kevin De Bruyne at the moment is his ownership is only at 10.2%, and he could be a massive differential captain. If City are going to go on to win the league, I guarantee you this man is going to have an influence on that. I can see him playing both games with the rest that he got against Newcastle. There are great 2 fixtures for Kevin De Bruyne's target. For me, he should be someone that you're looking to captain if you're not looking to secure a rank and looking to gain massively. He could be the man that you go for, and that's why I've included the Belgian maestro in the midfield. The final man in midfield is Mohamed Salah. The only reason that I've included Salah is he got his rest against Newcastle. For me, that kind of guarantees that he's going to play both the Tottenham and Villa game. He has been the 4th highest scoring midfielder over the past 5 game weeks, scoring 2 goals, getting 3 assists. Scored in the reverse fixture away at Villa as well. At home against Villa as well. Another reason, I think you've kind of just got to have Salah. His effective ownership is going to be plus 100 every single week. He's probably going to be one of the most captain player this week. So I think you kind of just secure yourself a little bit with that in mind. If you are looking to go like completely nuts and completely extreme, you can take him out of your team. However, if you're looking to secure rank, Salah, it's an easy pick. He seems to be getting back to his best. He's had a rest. He will play both games in game week 36. Moving on to the front line, and we start with one of my favourite players from this season, and it has been Timo Pukki. Norwich now relegated. We're not going to see him in the Premier League next season. And for me, there's kind of this weird phenomenon when you see teams where they've been relegated, and then there's kind of this pressure just kind of lifts, and you see a massive upturn in performance from them. They take on West Ham, who will have just played a Europa League game as well, a huge semi-final for them, where they've got to come back from 2-1 down against Frankfurt, so their energy is going to be on that game. Norwich could easily turn them, and a man who will probably, if not will be involved in the goals, will be Timo Pukki. He's the main player for Norwich, 2 goals, 1 assist in his past 5 game weeks. You've also got the fact that he's on penalties. I know a lot of people have brought Pukki in over the past few game weeks and been a little bit disappointed with his performance, but I do believe that now Norwich are relegated, you will just see kind of this free flow inside just come out of them. You know, they're not really playing for anything anymore. They're just playing for their own pride, and I think they'll just want to finish the season strong. And the West Ham fixture that could have a lot of rotation for the Hammers could be an absolute goldmine for Timo Pukki. Next forward in my team is Richarlison. Now, he was the thumbnail for this video initially until I checked the Everton fixture and saw that he went off injured. So please do make sure that he is fit. And if you want to comment down below, oh, he's not fit, why have you put him in the team? I'm filming this currently on a Sunday, so, you know, just grow up. There's number 1. But he has been the 4th highest scoring forward over the past 5 game weeks, scoring 4 goals and 1 assist in his past 5. A great double for Everton. Leicester, obviously, off the back of their Europa Conference League game, and Watford, who are probably at this point down. Richarlison seems to be one of the only Everton assets that you'd want to own. Obviously, Anthony Gordon, who's on a bench, is our other one, as a nice cheap enabler. But for me, if Richarlison's fit, I'm actually considering him or De Bruyne as my 2 captains. He's been absolutely explosive for Everton, and we know what capability he does have. He also has the potential to be a huge FPL troll, and yeah, it could all go wrong. And the final player to complete our front line is Ollie Watkins. He has been the highest scoring Villa player over the past 5 game weeks, scored 2 goals in his past 5 game weeks, and has massively underperformed his expected goals, with his expected goals being 2.42 over the past 5 game week periods. You could maybe look at someone like Danny Ings, who came off the bench and had a scintillating performance. However, for me, I do believe that Ollie Watkins is just that little bit more nailed. The only thing that I'm a little bit hesitant about with Villa players and kind of Villa fixtures in general is the fact that they take on Burnley, who are in stupendous form under Mike Jackson at the moment, and then they take on Liverpool, who are going to be, you know, cruising for the title. I know a lot of people own Coutinho. For me, I would prefer to own Watkins if I was going to draft, simply down to the fact that I believe Watkins will play the full 90. Coutinho seems to come off in around the 70th, 80th minute mark. You know, I want to be able to get my players playing the full 90. And Ollie Watkins, he's got pedigree, scored before against Liverpool as well in the 7-2 victory. So he has scored against them before. He knows where the back of the net is. But it's a little bit of a risk, this one. And yeah, I'm not 100% convinced by it. I think you could maybe look at someone like Nketiah and maybe upgrade a midfielder option, or go completely nuts and go to a 4.5 million player and add another midfielder in there. You do you, but for me, I've gone for Ollie Watkins. He looks to be back in a little bit of form and is underperforming on his underlying data, which is very good signs for me. Finally, we will quickly skim through the bench, obviously starting off with Foster, 4.1 million, Crystal Palace away and Everton home. Really good fixtures there, and if he does have to come into your team for whatever reason, yeah, you're not really going to complain at that. If you are looking at maybe a bench boost as well and you're looking for a cheap goalkeeper, he could be a man. He is someone that I'm looking at. I'm thinking about maybe taking a -4 just to complete a full bench boost. Take Dubravka out, have Foster in, and have a full bench boost of players who are going to play 2 fixtures. Pretty nailed, great fixtures. Next 2 players are Amati and Hall. Amati played today. He usually plays after the Europa Conference League games. Dewsbury Hall was rotated, so maybe don't include him. But again, we've been through Leicester's fixtures. Really good. Everton at home, Norwich away. Both really cheap enablers that allowed us to build this fantastic team. However, if you do want to maybe drop Watkins down to a cheaper forward and maybe upgrade a Dewsbury Hall, I wouldn't put it past you. And the final enabler that I've gone for in my team, and should be in a lot of people's team if you're not maybe going Richarlison, is Anthony Gordon, arguably one of the brightest lights in Everton's dark season. Great midfield enabler, loves to dive in the penalty area, so could win you maybe some assist points from penalties. But yeah, been an Everton bright spark. They have really good fixtures, as we went through with Richarlison. So yeah, nice cheap enabler. That's pretty much all the bench is filled with. If you have enjoyed today's video and would like to see more content on the FPL Tom YouTube channel, then please do subscribe, please do like the video, and finally tell me down below in the comments what are your plans for game week 36. Finally, good luck this game week. You're going to need it. It could be absolutely explosive for you, or it could all go down the drain. But yeah, good luck with this game week, and thank you very much for watching the video.